all different kind of demigods, Pitas, king, emperors, and other living entities, and who is the supreme soul of everything, has come into my home. The water of his lotus feet purified the three worlds, and now he has kindly come to my place. Who in the three worlds, among practically learned men, will not take shelter of your lotus feet and surrender into you? Who, knowing well that no one can be as affectionate as you are to your devotee, is so foolish that he will decline to become your devotee. Throughout, throughout the Vedic literature, it is declared that you are the dearmost friend of every living entity. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Suhradam Sarva Bhutanam. You are the supreme personality of Godhead, completely capable of fulfilling the desire of your devotee. You are the real friend of everyone, in spite of giving yourself to your devotee. You are never depleted of your original potency. Your potency neither decreases nor increases in volume. Still further, Prabhuji,
She doesn't seem to be here. Does Archana Mataji want to continue the
Yeah, I'm
next?
here.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
I was just on the computer here. That was very nice, Ramesh Bhai. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, these are prayers now. These are Akrura's prayers. They're very, very famous prayers. Carry on, Jai.
Okay. My dear Lord, it is very difficult for every great mystic yogis and demigods to ascertain your movements or approach. You, yet out of your causeless mercy, you have kindly consented to come to my home. This is the most auspicious moment in the journey of my material existence. By your grace only, I can now understand that my home, my wife, my children, and my worldly possessions are all bonds of material existence. Please cut the knot and save me from this entanglement of false society, friendship, and love. Want me to continue?
Yes, carry on, Prabhu.
Okay. Lord Shri Krishna was very much pleased by Akrura's offering of prayers. With his smile captivating Akrura more and more, the Lord replied to his submissive devotional statements with the following sweet words. My dear Akrura, in spite of your submissiveness, I consider you my superior. On the level with my father and teacher and most well-wishing friend. You are therefore to be worshipped by me, and since you are my uncle, I am always to be protected by you. I desire you to maintain me, for I am one of your own children. Apart from the filial relationship, an exalted devotee like you is always to be worshipped by everyone. Anyone who desires good fortune must offer his respectful obeisances unto personalities like you, who are greater than the demigods. People worship the demigods when in need, or when in need of some sense gratification, and the demigods offer benedictions to the devotees after being worshipped. But a devotee like you, Akrura, is always ready to offer people the greatest benediction. A saintly person or a devotee is free to offer benedictions to everyone, whereas the demigods can offer benedictions only after being worshipped. One can take advantage of the place of pilgrimage only after going there, and worshipping a particular demigod involves waiting a long time for the fulfillment of one's desire. But saintly persons like you, my dear Krura, can immediately fulfill all the desires of a devotee. My dear Krura, you are always our friend and well-wisher. You are always ready to act for our welfare. Kindly, therefore, go to Hastinapur and see what arrangements have been made for the Pandavas.
Okay. So this is a chapter called Ill-Motivated Dhritarashtra. Who knows something about Dhritarashtra here? Who knows something about Dhritarashtra? Well, I know something. He was ill-motivated. All right. Nikunja. All right. Namrata. All right. Let's ask. Have you found it yet? Have you found the?
Yes, we found it.
Yeah, we
We're
found
up. We're
You're on. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've just finished. You see, what's happened prior to this now. This particular section here. What's happened is Uddhava, who was a very close friend.
Probably one paragraph left.
One paragraph, yeah. Last paragraph.
Yeah.
So what's happened is Uddhava, you see, has Uddhava is a friend of Krishna, very close friend, and he's got what we call Sarupya Mukti. He's got a form, a body that's very similar looking to Krishna's. So there's two types of Sarupya Mukti. Who can tell Namrata and Nikunja and Namrata the two types of Sarupya Mukti that we've been talking about? Alex?
So sorry, Prabhu. I can't. I could just about remember the Hare Krishna mantra. Sorry.
Okay, Shamarani will know it.
No, Prabhu, I'm sorry.
Well, if everything fails, then Jigna will know it.
Is it to have the same form as Krishna?
Say it again.
Having the same form as Krishna or Vishnu?
Yeah, and
The second one, I'm not sure. Is it? No,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
okay. Sarupya Mukti. Okay, there's 5 types of Mukti. Panchvida Mukti. All right. Sarupya, Sarshti, Samipya, Salokya, and Sayujya. Okay. Now we all know Sayujya Mukti is the lowest, and that's when we merge the soul, the Jivatma, merges into Krishna's Brahma Jyoti. So when the Jiva merges into the Brahma Jyoti, it comes under the illusion that he has become God, okay? Because there's nothing else there. There's just blissfulness. And one thinks, yeah, now I am God. This is the I am God Maya, okay, in the Brahma Jyoti. Now, the other one, did you close the front door? It's freezing cold. The other one now, Sarupya, is where we get a body that is like Narayan. Okay? A Narayan Murti or Vishnu Murti. That is achieved in Vaikuntha Loka, where we get the Vishnu Murti. So we can also have the same form as the Lord in Vaikuntha. In instance with Uddhava, he got Sarupya Mukti by getting a body similar to Lord Krishna. Okay? Hare Krishna. Brajakumar Prabhu from Brazil.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Raja Kumar. This is a devotee, disciple of Shivaram Swami. He lives in Brazil. He's a member of our shloka group on a Monday afternoon shloka group in UK, and he joins in the morning. So Prabhu, we're talking about Akrura's prayers just now, and we're just discussing Sarupya Mukti, where there's two types. Okay, one is that you get the Vishnu Murti, form of the Lord, like in Jai and Vijay, they're the chokidars of the Vaikuntha Loka. And then Sarupya, also where you get a body that's similar. Now, when the gopis met Uddhava, from a distance they thought this was Krishna himself. He's so similar looking to Krishna, dark complexion, beautiful long curling black hair with a bluish tinge, eyes like lotus petals, beautiful form. They say Badam Ark in Gujarati. Badam Ark, beautiful eyes, and etc. etc. Okay, so this is Uddhava, and then Uddhava he transmitted Krishna's message to the gopis, and then Uddhava was a witness then to how much the gopis loved Krishna and were completely absorbed in Krishna 24/7. 24/7, only Krishna, 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 Krishna.
Hey,
Hey, hey, come on. We sing this before the Krishna, 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 Krishna.
hey,
Hey, yes. So that went a very long time. That chapter went for 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, maybe 1 month. Long, very long. Then Krishna then, after Uddhava went to meet Krishna. He's telling Krishna, hey, those gopis are mad about you, Krishna. They're mad about you. There was one song when I was a kid, a song in the Top of the Pops song, you know, I'm mad about you, I'm mad about you. So the gopis, I mean, that song, I don't know if you've ever heard it. I don't know who sang it, but it was it's like, you know, it's about the gopis, how they simply pagli for Krishna, completely me pagal ho gaya, you know, I'm mad for Krishna. This is the gopis, because their love for Krishna wasn't just like a normal love one has for one boy for a girl, or vice versa. It's the realization that they are also one with Krishna. We have to understand the gopis are not ordinary souls like you and me. Those Brijbasi gopis, in previous life, some of them were rishis. Where were they rishis in previous life? Where were they famously rishis? Who can tell me? Dandavarka. Dandavarka. Come on, Arjuna.
Dandavarka forest.
Yes, they were the rishis in the Ram Leela. They were Ram Leela rishis. They were there. They said, Ram, we want to fall in love with you, but we can't in this stage. He said, don't worry, you'll come as gopis later. So they call rishi gopis. So, you know, they understood ekadvam anupashyataha. Ekadvam anupashyataha. Mantra 7 of the Ishopanishad. Okay? We are one with God. We are one. We are God in the sense that we're one with God. That's as far as it goes, as far as being God. Okay? This hand is me. Hello, everyone. But it's only as far as it goes, that's it. That's it. You don't want to see the hand all the time. Who wants to see the hand going like this all the time? You know, nobody. You want to see the person talking, but the hand is one with me as well. Okay, it's something like this. So then those prayers have gone on, and those where Uddhava telling Krishna all about the gopi. Then Uddhava and Krishna then they go and visit one lady in Mathura. What was her name? It's the last chapter. Begins with K. Yeah.
Kubja.
Kubja. Now, Kubja, previously, Krishna met Kubja and she had a hunchback. She had a problem with her spine. Hunchback. Hello. Not very nice. But Krishna, what did he do? What did he do, Vraja Kumar Prabhu?
He straightened her out.
Yeah, he put his 2 fingers under her chin and straightened her out like that. And she suddenly became a beautiful woman. Everything perfect. So Krishna, she said, oh, Krishna, please come back and visit me. Come and visit me. So she was a society woman, you know, she public lady, you know, she wasn't married or anything. She was entertaining men. So basically, Krishna and Uddhava then went to meet her, and then that's described in the last chapter. And now we've come to this chapter here, and we're at the last. Jai, this is the last paragraph,
Yes, yes, it is.
which is Dhritarashtra could realize. Is that it?
No, Krishna was anxious.
Just a moment. Sorry about that. I've gone ahead there. Krishna was anxious. Yeah, we haven't come to ill-motivated Dhritarashtra yet. Sorry about that. I thought we were on that one.
No,
Okay.
that's the next
So
one.
let's ask Vrajakumar Prabhu. Have you got a Krishna book there?
Yeah, I've just been searching.
Go-
This is
go-
the last.
Go to
Huh?
chapter 48.
Yeah,
Last paragraph.
yeah,
In the last paragraph, Krishna was anxious. Go ahead.
yeah, I found it. Krishna was anxious to know about the sons of Pandu because at a very young age, they had lost their father. Being very friendly to his devotees, Krishna was anxious to know about them, and therefore he deputed Akrura to go to Hastinapur to get information about the real situation. Krishna continued, I have heard that after King Pandu's death, his young sons, Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadev, along with their widowed mother, have come under the charge of Dhritarashtra, who is to look after them as their guardian. But I have also heard that Dhritarashtra is not only blind from birth, but also blind in his affection for his cruel son Duryodhana. The 5 Pandavas are the sons of King Pandu, but Dhritarashtra, due to Duryodhana's plans and designs, is not favorably disposed towards them. Kindly go there and study how Dhritarashtra is dealing with the Pandavas. On receipt of your report, I shall consider how to favor them. In this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, ordered Akrura to go to Hastinapur, and then he returned home, accompanied by Balarama and Uddhava. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 48th chapter of Krishna. Krishna pleases his devotees.
Krishna always displeases his devotees. It's true. He always gives his devotees a hard time. Yeah, so we're finishing. I thought we'd started the next chapter. Sorry about that, because I was looking ahead. Right, okay, so look, in this one now, Dhritarashtra is explained in the Mahabharata that Dhritarashtra was materially and spiritually blind. Okay? He was materially and spiritually blind, even though he had knowledge of God, he had only up to Brahman realization. Okay? He had only up to the Brahman realization of it's God conscious, but he could only understand Brahman. He didn't realize Paramatma or Bhagawan. Now, there's a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1:2:11. Does anyone know this verse? 1:2:11, Srimad Bhagavatam. Hey, Bhaja Kumar Prabhu, you know this verse. Go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu. Can you give me the first word just to remind me?
Yeah, Vadanti.
Vedanti tadvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam. Brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabdyate. Those who are knowers of the truth recognize it in the following three forms: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan.
Yes, the learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth, Vadanti tat, tattva vidas. So those who are learned, Vadanti, they know the absolute truth, tattva. They know it, but they know it, and they call the non-dual substance Advaitam. Vedanti tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam. So advaya means Advaita. That it's one substance, but it's in three phases. Just like we have, this world, or we have good, more good and most good, perfect, more perfect, most perfect. Things go in three phases. So similarly, God is in three phases, and he's known as Brahman, all pervasive, Paramatma, as localized as Vishnu in the heart, and as Bhagawan. And each level of God realization brings with it a different reciprocation with the Lord. Brahman is where the Lord is giving you the opportunity to imagine that you're God. Who would like to imagine that they're God? Who would like to pretend I'm God? Oh, sorry. So I used to have on my Volkswagen camper van. I used to have a camper van for going to festivals and things. And on the back, there was a sticker. And the sticker said, I was an atheist until I realized that I am God. You get it?
It's funny. It's funny.
I was an atheist until I realized that I'm God. Now I believe in myself. So it was a sort of tongue-in-cheek joke, really. But this Brahman realization is a facility given by the Lord to those souls who really want to identify themselves as God. Okay, so Krishna is so kind that he arranges Sayujya Mukti. You can enter into Brahman. Okay, so many Mayavadis, followers of Shankaracharya, impersonalists, Buddhists also, Jains, Sikhs. The Sikhs also, they follow the Mayavadi philosophy of Nirakar Mukti. They have that idea. So lots of people, Muslims, they believe God has no form. He can't be described in any way. This is a lot of people are like this in this world. All right, a lot of people. So Krishna is so kind. He arranges this. You can have Brahman realization. You can enter into me. Srijami. Srijami means to enter into. No, Srijamyaham. That's different. Bhakti mama bijanati yavanyasasvi tattva tatamam. Vishate, to enter into. So the Lord allows one to enter into Brahman realization so that one may be satisfied for many kalpa, mahakalpas. Who knows what a mahakalpa is? We talked about it before. What is a kalpa?
Is that a tree? I'm not sure.
No, that's a kalpa vriksha. Okay, that's all right. Kalpa is a day of Brahma. Okay, 1 day of Brahma equals 8,640,000,000 Earth years. Okay, 1 day and 1 night. Excuse me. 1 day of Brahma is 4,320,000,000 Earth years, and a day and night of Brahma is 8,640,000,000 Earth years. That's right. So 1 kalpa. Now a mahakalpa is a life of Brahma. It goes to 311 trillion years. Okay, so now you go to 311 trillion Earth years. You live for, if you can go into the Brahman, you can enter into Brahman as Brahma Jyoti, that you're what we call Chitkana. Chitkana means the Atma is like a spark. It's in the form of a little spark of consciousness at that time. So as a Chitkana, one can enter into Brahman and identify oneself that I am God. And one can be in the illusion. And of course, there's no pain, there's no suffering, there's blissfulness. It's Amritasya. Amritasya Vyayasya Cha is explained. Brahmano hi pratishtaham Amritasya Vyayasya Cha. So one can imagine for many Mahakalpas. So how many, say I'm there for 100 Mahakalpas. So 100 times 300 trillion. Who's a good mathematician here? Hey, Jai Prakash, he's in the accounts. Go on, Jai, you're the accountant.
My calculator hasn't got that many digits.
100 times 311 trillion. Okay, what's 100? What's 100 times 300? Well, 10 times 300 is 3,000. So 30,000 trillion. 30,000 trillion Earth years, you can imagine your God. So in that way, you may as well be God if you're going to be God for that long. But you're not, because God is eternal. And even 30,000 trillion Earth years compared to eternity is nothing. Okay? So we're talking big maths here, big thinking out of the box we are. So that's Brahman. God gives you that facility in Brahman realization. He's so kind. So when we meet people, they say, yes, I am God. Yeah, and it's okay. Yes, you are. You're a part of God. And if you want to, you can become one with Brahman. Fine. Enjoy it. Don't worry. It's great. It's for you. But there's no bhakti there. There's no reciprocation of love with the Lord in the Brahma Jyoti. You're simply out there with other living entities who are also thinking they're God. Okay? Imagining that they're God. Kalpana is called Yene Ravindaksha Vimukta Maninas. Vimukta Maninas means they're imagining that they're liberated forever. But they're only there for 30,000 trillion Earth years, which seems a long time to us, but compared to Brahman, to God, it's a moment. A moment. Okay? Now, Paramatma realization is where we start reciprocating with the Lord in the heart, realizing He's talking to us. He's giving us remembrance. There's Bhagavad Gita 15:15 you have for that, okay? To remind you, Bhagavad Gita 15:15 tells you all about Paramatma. Bhagawan, you enter into his Leela. You go back to him, to your eternal life. Brahman can give you long life of realization of God, as that you're one with Brahman, but it can't give you it forever. So I'm just going over it briefly to give us some remembrance of what Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagawan is, okay? So it looks like now we've come to the end of that one, which is great. And let's start on the next chapter. Ill-motivated Dhritarashtra, who was blind from birth, both materially and spiritually. And as we know, in the Bhagavatam and the Mahabharata, when Vidura returned home and saw his father, his brother, his older brother, Dhritarashtra, at the home of Bhima and Yudhishthir, living there like a kept animal. He was just being kept there. He had tried to kill Bhima by crushing him. He hated the Pandavas. He especially disliked Bhima because he killed Duryodhana. And he also killed Dushashana, viciously killed him on the battlefield for offending Draupadi. So he really hated Bhima. But now he's living in their home like a kept animal. Just, his teeth are falling out, he's old, his hair's starting to fall out, So Vidura really gave him a heavy talking to. And shortly afterwards, Dhritarashtra left home with Gandhari, with his wife. That's there in the Mahabharata, that whole story, which is really interesting. But even then, when he left home, he meditated only on Brahman. He didn't meditate on Bhagawan. He entered into Brahman. That's what he did. And Gandhari, when he invested this fire in his body, he immolated his own body. Gandhari performed sati with him. And she performed the sati voluntarily. She entered into the fire with her husband, and they both attained the same destination. But then it is explained there that Dhritarashtra, he didn't have Bhagwan realization, only up to Brahman. Okay? So that's why I'm sort of linking it all together. So let's ask Jigna to start us off here in this ill-motivated Dhritarashtra chapter. Go ahead, Jigna.
Thus, ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, Akrura visited Hastinapur, said to be the site of what is now New Delhi. The part of New Delhi still known as Indraprasth is accepted by people in general as the old capital of the Pandavas. The very name Hastinapur suggests that there were many Hastis or elephants. Because the Pandavas kept many elephants in the capital, it was called Hastinapur. Keeping elephants is very expensive. To keep many elephants, therefore, the kingdom must be very rich. And Hastinapur, as Akrura saw when he reached it, was full of elephants, horses, chariots, and other opulences. The kings of Hastinapur were taken to be the ruling kings of the whole world. Their fame was widely spread throughout the entire kingdom, and their administration was conducted under the good counsel of learned brahmanas.
Okay, so there we are. This is setting the scene now. Where Akrura is visiting Hastinapur. And he's checking Krishna, saying, look, I want you to pop in there. I want you to do a bit of spying for me. Okay? Krishna sent Akrura to a bit of spying. Check out what's going on down there with Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra really doesn't like the Pandavas. This is earlier on now in the story. I was taking you to the end part there. But Dhritarashtra was very, very partial. Way over partial to... Because why? Dhritarashtra himself felt that he should have been the king. He was the firstborn. Now, in politics, in palace politics, because there's so much at stake, so much wealth, prestige, power, and all the things that go with it. Dhritarashtra was very, very sad that he couldn't be the king because he was blind. And the reason that was because the one of the three sisters, Jagadamba, what was it? Ambalika. I can't remember which one it was. Does anyone remember which one it was? But when she saw Vyasadeva, obviously Vichitravirya had passed away. Vichitravirya, he had died before he could have a family. So the Kuru dynasty was going to end. So of course they arranged, Bhishma Dev arranged, he said, okay, look, Vyasadeva is related here. Vyasadeva, he can act as the father for the children, but he didn't have time to tidy himself up. He was like, really been performing austerities, and he wasn't really a pleasant person to behold at that time, Vyasadeva. So his name is, the Vyasadeva, of course, is called Krishna Dvaipayana. Krishna Dvaipayana. This is the Vyasadeva. So then he impregnated one of the sisters, Ambalika. Oh, I can't remember the other name. And she closed her eyes. She saw him. She went, oh! So the son was born blind. Next one, she saw Dhritarashtra. She was so shocked, she turned white. Just imagine now, you're Asian people there. You're not Dorio. You're not Gaudiya like, this, me. Just imagine, suddenly you just turn white. So then Pandu was born white. And then the third sister, she couldn't take it. She just couldn't handle it. So she sent her Devadasi, her Dasi, her servant in. She said, you can have the baby. I'm not going to handle that. I can't take that. So then Vidura was born. And that's why he's called a Shudrani, the son of a Shudrani. He's a Shudrani Putra. Anyway, kind of the story anyway of Mahabharata. But Dhritarashtra himself was way against them because he felt he should have been the king. And he said, well, if they can't be the king, now Pandu's passed away, but my son should be the king. He said, look, why the Pandavas? My son should be the king. He disagreed that the Pandavas are going to inherit, you see, because there was a little loophole there. Why the Pandavas should be the king when Pandu's gone? I should have been the king anyway. My son should be now the king. Can you see where the politics is going on? Because it was bordering, you see. It was a border situation. So he was looking at in favor of his own line. This is what happens. So, well, we're coming to the end here. Let's ask Shamarani to do after seeing. Oh, hang on. Let's ask Namrata. Do you want to read this, Namrata? Yeah, go ahead. After seeing
the very opulent capital city, Akrura met Dhritarashtra. He also saw grandfather Bhishma sitting with him. After meeting them, he went to see Vidura and then Kunti, Akrura's cousin. One after another, he saw King Bhalika and his son Somadatta, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, Karna, and Suyodhana. Suyodhana is another name of Duryodhana. Then he saw the son of Dronacharya, Ashwathama, as well as the 5 Pandava brothers and other friends and relatives living in the city. All those who met Akrura, known also as the son of Gandhini, were very much pleased to receive him and inquire about the welfare of their respective relatives. He was offered a good seat at his receptions, and he in turn inquired all about the welfare and activities of his relatives.
Okay, so now this part of the Krishna book here, it's touching on the Mahabharata. The Mahabharata story is coming out here. And this happens in the Srimad Bhagavatam in different places. In the first canto also, you have the story of Mahabharata is coming out there. It appears in different areas of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we're hearing now about all the characters, Karna, Duryodhana, Kripacharya, the great Bhishma Dev, Mahapita, Bhishma Dev, etc. So we're going to be going into this section, and then now we're going to be picking up now something about Dhritarashtra, how he was so ill-motivated towards the Pandavas, but no matter how hard he tried, they could not hurt them. You know, Duryodhana tried, Shakuni tried. They all were really trying hard to harm the Pandavas, but they could not. Why? Because there's an old saying, Jayastu Panduputranam. Hey, let's say it together. Jayastu
Jayastu
Panduputranam
Panduputranam
Yesham Pakshi
Yesham Pakshi
Janardana.
Janardana
Jayastu Panduputranam
Jayastu Panduputranam
Yesham Pakshi Janardana.
Yesham Pakshi Janardana.
Okay, you can remind yourself of this. This is 2 lines. Jayastu Panduputranam Yesham Pakshi Janardana. The Pandavas are always Jayas, victorious. Okay, they're always victorious because they're in the group. They're in Janardana's gang. Okay, Janardana's Pakshi. Pakshi also means bird, but birds of a feather flock together. So they are in Janardana's flock, you see. So because they're in Janardana's Pakshi, Jayastu Panduputranam, Yesham means they, Pakshi, Janardana. They're in the Janardana's group. They're in his gang or his party. Actually, party is the word used in the translation for that. So because they were in Janardan, Krishna's name is Janardan, meaning one who exists in the hearts of everyone. Jan is people. Vishnu Jan, the devotee of the Lord is called Vishnu Jan, Krishna Jan. So because the Lord is Janardana, he's in the heart of everyone. He's always everywhere in the form of Paramatma. He's everywhere as Brahman. But that we can't see. Paramatma we can see a bit more and perceive him more as Paramatma because he talks to us. Hey, you've left your keys. Oh, I've left my keys. Hey, your phone. Oh, I've left my phone. That's him. Don't think when you remember something, it's you. Oh, don't think it's you. Oh, I've remembered. Oh, I just remember. Oh, hey, I just had a great idea. You didn't have a great idea. This is all from Paramatma. That's why we are under Ahankar. We think that we are the doers. We think we are doing. I'm thinking, no. It's all the Lord. Everything is the Lord. Everything is him. He is everywhere. He is everything. But because of Ahankar, we think it's us. And the supreme Ahankar is to enter Brahman and think, now I am everything. See how perverted we are in this world. So Paramatma means we perceive the Lord as remembering, forgetting, and as the knowledge itself. Okay? This is 15:15 Bhagavad Gita. All right? So we're going to stop there. Thank you for joining Namrata and Nikunj. Nikunj Bhai, Haribol. In Cambridge, in the posh part of the country. Cambridge, of course.
Hare Krishna.
Nonetheless, and we met them with Jigna yesterday at the temple. We had a chance meeting at the mandir. Ramesh Bhai, we met Jigna yesterday. I did a kirtan.
Yes, he told me.
12 o'clock, 12:30 kirtan.
Yeah,
Rocking. It was a rocking kirtan.
yeah, I know.
It was rock, but without the roll. Like today, there's no rolls today because it's Ekadashi. It's Varutini, or it's also called Vaikuntha Ekadashi today. So we're doing Ekadashi. It's been a tough day for us because we was at a school and we didn't have anything prepared. So, it's been a long, tough day. That's why it took us a long time to get home. I had to stop at one point and rest because we're doing the Ekadashi and little bit a little bit emaciated. Not eating much today. Now I know you're gonna have nice samu and paneer and all the nice things now. Okay, Hare Krishna. So thank you, Vaja Prabhu, for joining. Vaja Kumar Prabhu.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It's a nice lesson.
Thank you. Krishna book is very nice, Prabhu. We all read it together like this, and we just go through it and try to pick up what we can and understand things a bit deeper, a bit more thoroughly, you know. And it's very blissful. Okay, so we'll see you on Tuesday, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you, Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
As they say, Namo Namaha, Namo Namaha, Namo Namaha. And Archana is famous for her Bakris. Archana does Bakri yoga herself.
I'm not.
She's doing Bakri yoga every day. We do Bhakti yoga and she does Bakri yoga. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Thank you,
Hare Bol.
Prabhuji. Krishna.